Hey guys, Raven here. Today I want to show you this build is based around the Swordspear, and I think that the fashion is really cool. It's a mix of Radan's armor and Guardian armor, and I think it looks neat. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the Swordspear, and I want to do a video about it because I feel like everything is so power crept in this game that just having a regular old weapon with a great move set is often overlooked. And I've been trying to play with this one, and I really enjoyed it. Also, I wanted to play with a pyro, and this is the build, by the way. And the idea was to have a weapon that synergized well with being a spellcaster. And I found that the Swordspear, I really like it a lot, especially because I mean, it's a hybrid weapon. It's a halberd, but it has a lot of its move set is of a spear. Especially one of the best spears in the game. It also was one of the best spears in Dark Souls 3, which is the Partisan. It has a swooping attacks on the heavy attack, and I'll use them plenty in this video. So it's a good weapon for spellcasting because you can poke the opponent and then you'll get right next to them. At the same time, you also have access to this Ash of War, the sword dance, which is really good, and it plays really well even if you are with your talisman out, because you can use the weapon art of the right hand weapon whenever you have a talisman out. It's a shame that you don't have a talisman that increases your poise, for example, like in Dark Souls 3, but the upside is that you can catch a lot of people unaware when using your Ash of War, even if you are spellcasting. So I think that you can do like battle mage kind of characters more viable. Another thing that this weapon has is really good. I just used it. Is its R1s. It's maybe its most defining attack. And the great thing about it is that it comes really fast, because when you're one-handing an halberd, the one-handed R1 always it's really slow. It's like in Dark Souls 3. So this allows for you to have a fast defensive option that can stagger most opponents, because this weapon also does quite a bit of poise damage. So this weapon, there's another weapon that also shares this moveset, which is Loretta's Greatsight, but that's for our sorcery builds. This one can be used in any build. So about this invasion, this dude was using the Taunter's Tongue, and if you don't know, if you're alone in a world and if you use the Taunter's Tongue, you only invite one invader in. So at least that's what it says in the item description. So by using the Taunter's Tongue, you won't be in a 2v1 situation. But this guy knew his PvP, and this is the second time I invaded him. He beat me the first time. It was really passive, because Souls combat always benefits the most passive player. But I'm trying to be aggressive, because I think that makes for a more interesting combat. And his main weapon is also the Swordspear. And also he was using the Frozen Needle as well, but I don't think that he damaged me with it, so he put it away quickly. I have a big range advantage. I was a bit unlucky there. And I was trying to use some pyromancies here as well, to give it some flair. They are not that useful, as I've said, but they are decent. And something that I tried in this fight as well. He caught me there. And the power stance moveset of the Swordspear of most halberds as well. It has like a 1-2 kind of thing going on, and it's a really hard moveset to punish. And here comes the parry. So I played with my shield out for a while because that makes people forget about it, I think. And I'm trying to apply some pressure while not showing my hand and trying to... This was the first parry attempt. So against good players, you really need to make them forget that you have a parry tool and play like it doesn't exist, and you'll eventually get your chance. GG. This was a fun fight. Now this invasion right here, I left it here because it was not only it was a fun invasion, but I really enjoyed this. Is kind of odd, but I really enjoyed that this guy was using the spell that gives. This is the running R2. It's amazing as well. It's a swipe. You can get a lot of people with it. It has a big crowd control capabilities, so I really liked it. But notice how the lighting changes whenever he uses the light spell. Gives like a ghostly flair to the environment. And one of the things that I really love in Invasions is the randomness of it all. We weren't supposed to be fighting here. We were supposed to fight in the main part of the dungeon. But by dropping here, it's a whole new environment, other enemies. I really love this. And also the Misbegotten are getting waked up while we fight. So there are more mobs coming, and so more variables, more chaos. It's really fun. And I really want to use that weapon, the Mirai sword. It seems like a really cool weapon, and I really want to play with it. Now I noticed that this dude was thinking that I was focusing on the Phantom, and I get the cheeky parry. So really fun invasion. Notice how the lighting changes completely. So the lighting and the art direction of these games, it's amazing. So I left this invasion in because it's against two Colossal Sword users, and what I like about facing two of these is that you need to play almost by turns. You attack one and then you need to dodge because the other opponent is getting near you. So it's like a dance around these weapons, because they are using big weapons. They will out damage me. These fanning knives are very important in any of my builds. I use them because of the bubble. They can make a really big difference, and it makes a part of their physics flask almost useless. Another thing that this invasion highlights is how Colossal Swords in this case are so weak in this game if you don't account for the poke. And most PvE players will not use the poke. You need some experience in PvP in order to use and abuse the poke, but the rest of their moveset is really weak. And also, it's also a bit concerning for example, for great axes and great hammers, because their crouching attack, their rolling attack is much weaker than swords. So you'll end up with swords being much better than the other great weapon class, which is a bit odd. Of course, the changes to poise were also of great importance on making these weapons weaker than they were in Dark Souls 3. No, I get the riposte here, but I do no damage. This has happened to me several times. Not many, like 3 or 4 times, but it's common enough to worth mentioning. Now the host goes for katanas, and I immediately take out the Parry shield because I know that I'm going probably to get Rivers of Blood or Moonbow, but that's not the case. So I was surprised there. You see the poke, the R2 on the spear, really good. Now he starts using a lot of Raven of the Mist. I get rid of the Phantom, and he really starts to go hard on the Raven of the Mist, Ash of War, which is really cool, but it doesn't really work if you know that it's coming, and especially it doesn't really work against faster weapons because I can just dodge out of the way. And you see here the heavy attack, the swipe attack, really cool. Also very good with catch flame. I can vary the timings, and then I go for the weapon art for the sword dance, which is amazing on spears. And like I said, it works very well in this build because of the fact that you can be having the talisman and using the weapon. This next invasion is kind of similar, but it has some differences. The host clearly is the more passive player, and the overleveled Phantom is the more aggressive one. So I need to prioritize my target. Oftentimes I'm locking on to the host in order to bait the Phantom, and then I try to hit the Phantom because I want to try to kill him first. It would be much easier if I just kill the host, but I enjoy killing the Phantom first. The weapon art is really good as well for unlocked use, especially when they are in the line, like what I was trying to do there. Here I was really surprised that he could poise through the catch flame, because catch flame, the second cast and subsequent casts, from the first to the second, it casts faster. So if you spam it, you'll get great speed and you'll do like a shield in front of you. So it's a spell that it's pretty good to spam. And the overleveled Phantom is doing the redundant thingy. What every player with those swords do. It only spams it, and it's not that good. And the dude is like doing a showcase of incantations because he has a lot of spells, and they do quite a bit of damage. I think that's the only time that he hit me with a spell, but it took like 50% of my health. He's just trying to see whatever works. I'm trying to change locks in order to bait one, target one and then go for the other. And now I'm gonna go for a parry, so I do the R2 in order to stagger both of them and then punish the host. I love this weapon's moveset. It's really fun, really useful. This next invasion was a cool one. It's against a team of 3, and this build is not very... I mean, it's flexible, it's good, but the game is so power crept and overleveled Phantoms are so strong that I'm not able to do like huge bursts of damage. I can do reasonable amount of damage with sword dance, but I mean it's like 600-700 damage, which is okay, but it's not like a one-shot thingy even at this level. But I see that the host is locked in the spell animation, and if you know how to roll, which is something kind of rare in this game, it allows you. It allowed me in this case to kill him without getting hit through the other two phantoms. So I thought that was cool. I love this place right here for invading, and it's one of the places where you get good mob support, which is something that is rarer than it should be in Elden Ring. There's a lot of empty spaces in this game, much more than the more curated, because it's a much smaller game. Dark Souls 3, there's a big chance of having mob support unless the party has absolutely killed everything. But in here there are very big areas in which you don't have any support. Now that dagger weapon art, the first time I rolled through it, and it still did the debuff, so it's something that they should, if it was me, that would be patched, because it doesn't make sense for a status effect in this case to register unless it hits me. It's the same for bleed and madness. It shouldn't be in the game. Now I'm about to kill the gold, and I didn't notice that the blue had spawned, and it almost cost me the invasion. And it took me completely by surprise, so I'm trying to regroup and go to a better position right here. I'm zigzagging through the stairs. So now I'm thinking, what should I do? And I understand that I cannot tolerate the blue being there, so I try to draw the other two in order to go for the blue, because usually these guys, not only they don't know how to roll, but they also don't have any vigor. So it was more of a matter of prioritizing my target well, and then the whole invasion open up. And then this mob, these are strong mobs, he arrived and he killed the host for me. I thought that this invasion was hilarious. This is in the sealed tunnel, and there's an illusory wall right there, so I thought I would give the host a scare. He had no idea I was there, because that's where the illusory wall is. So I thought it was hilarious. See right here, it's a really good spam spell. They won't go through if you keep spamming it. So against spammy players, it's a good spell. This started off like a normal invasion, like a 2v1 against dudes with katanas, and I noticed that this guy has Bloodhound step, but they are a bit hesitant to push. And all of a sudden, they start to all Power Rangers on me. Bloodhound step all the way. That's why you parry it, bro. Now, Bloodhound step is incredibly broken for PvE and PvP, and it needs to get nerfed ASAP. And I think it will be. But I'm finding it weird that 1.04, the latest patch, was a while ago, and I was thinking that they would patch some of their more egregious offenders earlier, but it seems not. But Bloodhound Step is one of the things that needs to get nerfed fast. This said, this dude had no idea what he was doing, so... So, last invasion. and these dudes are really aggroing, and I missed the parry here. Look at the stamina consumption of that lift parry. It was like all of my stamina bar, and I tend to use rather big stamina bars because I play a very stamina heavy playstyle. I run a lot. And the stun locks, they are really strong. Another thing that I don't see talked about that much. Now I'm trying to line them up in order to do the sword dance. But one of the things that I don't see talked about enough is how strong jumping attacks are. They are really hard to punish, and I think that one of the good alteration for the game would be for them to be easier to backstab. Because and I don't mean that to make the recovery of the jumping attack bigger. I think that if you try to go for a backstab on a jumping attack, like the window, the backstab window should be bigger, like 1 or 2 seconds after a jumping attack. The backstab should be easier to perform. The grab box should be a little bit bigger, because from you see the R1 here. Try doing that with a normal halberd. It's one of the reasons. It's probably the main reason why I like this weapon so much. And I didn't use it a lot in this video, but it's really cool that they changed the regular halberd moveset one-handed. And you saw it there, the catch flame spamming. It's probably for me the best way to use it, because they don't expect you to use it like 6 times in a row. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this one, and I'll see you next time. Ribbon out.